Obviously, this is in Denver, high elevation. Loosa hasn't been finished at all, and he's just pretty much doing what he wants on the ground. Bonfim is going to submit Loosa. He has really good body shots. He has really good striking. He's probably at least top 5 strikers in the division. You can't trust Cody Brundage. She's debuting in the UFC. She's beaten cans. I feel like she's going to be able to get taken down and controlled. What's up, boys? Back with another quick picks video. This week we're going to be breaking down UFC Fight Night Namajunas versus Cortez in Denver. This one's going to be a good one. Let's get into it. First fight up, Evan Elder versus Darrius Flowers. I feel like this fight is pretty cut and dry. I feel like Darrius Flowers doesn't really deserve to be in the UFC, and this fight being at elevation, I feel like it's only a downfall for him because he has kind of cardio issues. His first round is pretty explosive, then he gasses out, has wrestling problems too. I feel like Evan Elder is the better wrestler, has better cardio, better striker, more intensity, more dog. He's pretty much just everything. I think the odds are a bit too much, but I'd say Evan Elder will be able to do whatever he wants, and I think he will end up finding the finish. So my pick is going to be Evan Elder by second round KO. Next fight up, Josh Fremd versus Andre Petroski. I feel like this one is a really close fight. I feel like it's hard to tell whether Petroski will be trustworthy and get takedowns. I feel like he is chinny, he isn't trustable, but I feel like he definitely has like a for sure game plan of just getting the takedowns, getting control time, and possibly maybe working a submission. But I feel like this fight will go decision. I feel like Fremd has better striking. He can get taken down, and he also can work in his own takedowns. But I feel like he's just not as explosive as Petroski. And Petroski, I feel like he has more upside, and he has more potential. The confidence isn't too much. I wouldn't really. I feel like this is definitely a coin toss, but my pick is going to be Petroski by decision. Next fight up, Luana Santos versus Mariya Agapova. I feel like the odds are too much for my liking on Santos. In the beginning, I feel like before the film, Santos, I felt like she was definitely going to submit her, but I feel like Agapova's striking is definitely getting like tossed under the rug a little bit because Santos might not even be more technical than her on the feet, and I don't know if she is like that good of a wrestler to take her down at will. I feel like this fight is closer than the odds say. I feel like this fight probably will end in finish, but it's hard to tell. A lot of people are picking Santos. I feel like Agapova is getting a little bit disrespected, but she has been finished by submission, and got KO'd. I think that Santos's game plan is a lot easier to win. Just stay on the outside, maybe get Agapova to gas out, work in takedowns, look for submissions, and kind of find your shots. Because I feel like Agapova has like decent output, but I feel like she does crumble when the going gets tough. So my pick is going to be Santos by KO in the second round. Next fight up, Montel Jackson versus Damon Blackshear. I think that this fight is whether Blackshear can get the takedowns, and I think that he can get the takedowns. I feel like he's one of those dog fighters that will just keep looking for a way to have the advantage and would just keep pushing. I feel like he'll keep going for the takedowns. He might not get the first two, but I think that he'll keep trying for them. I think Montel Jackson can get his own takedowns, and that he is better than him at striking. He has more power. He has a lot of knockdowns. But I'd say that Blackshear, I feel like the fact that he can pull off like submissions like twisters and kind of just get takedowns against good wrestlers, and I feel like that's Jackson's kryptonite. That's like two of his UFC losses against Brett Johns and Ricky Simone, where he just got taken down and taken down and taken down and controlled, where he wasn't really able to get his strikes off and do what he does best. So I feel like Blackshear's gonna be able to take him down and hold him down, working maybe a submission. But I feel like this fight will go to decision. So my pick is gonna be Blackshear by decision. Next up, Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Fatima Kline. I think that I don't know how that Kline was the favorite at some point. I think she's like the plus 105 right now, but I feel like Jasmine should be able to just take her down. I feel like I know that Kline has a good jiu-jitsu game, but I feel like she has not been proven to be a UFC fighter. She's beaten cans. She's only 6-0. She's not finished every single fighter. So if she's able to get takedowns at will against these low-level fighters, but not submit them when she's like really high-level jiu-jitsu, I feel like she's gonna be able to get taken down and controlled, not working a submission. She's probably gonna be on her back most of the fight because I feel like Jasmine will just keep pushing the pace, be relentless, walk through her punches. I feel like Kline has not proven at all. She hasn't beaten anybody good. Jasmine has faced high level people in Silva and Cortez. Natalia Silva and Cortez, and I feel like that she held her own. Kline has not shown to be at that level or anywhere near it. She's debuting in the UFC, so I don't know where the love's coming in on her. She didn't look crazy good, but my pick is going to be Jasmine by decision. Next up, Joshua Van versus Charles Johnson. This one's a really good one. This one's going to be a striking fight. I think both of them can work in takedowns, but I feel like Johnson really likes standing on the feet. His last two wins, when the people weren't able to take him down, he was just able to beat him on the feet and get a decision win. His problem has been wrestlers, and Van is probably not really going to look for takedowns. He's going to stay on the feet. He has really good body shots. He has really good striking. He's probably at least top 5 strikers in the division. It's really clean. He's really young. That's the problem. I feel like he hasn't had that experience yet of fighting somebody like Johnson. Johnson is probably his hardest matchup. I feel like Johnson can work in takedowns. And I feel like he's going to have to win this fight. But I feel like Van is going to be too clean on the feet, working too much output, and his combos are just going to be adding up, especially those body shots. So my pick is going to be Van by decision. Heading into the main card, Cody Brundage versus Abdul Alhassan. Razak. I'd say that my pick is going to be Alhassan just because you can't trust Cody Brundage. I feel like his game plan is to take him down and control him, maybe get him past the first round, tire him out, and TKO him. I feel like this fight will go finish, but I think that Brundage is not trustable at all. He is chinny. He can get finished. And I feel like his fight IQ just doesn't seem that good. I feel like he is talented. He has good wrestling. He has decent striking, but he doesn't really mix it in together well. Like I feel like he has to work in the takedowns to win because of the first round is gonna be really hard to get through. I feel like he's gonna have to just take him down, hold him down the whole first round, and then after that, I feel like he can just do more of what he wants. But first round is gonna be really tough, and I don't think that he gets out of the first round. So my pick is gonna be Alhassan by first round KO. Next fight up, Christian Rodriguez versus Julien Erosa. I think this is a lot closer than the odds have it, and then a lot of people are picking Rodriguez. I feel like it's a lot closer than people have it and the odds. I feel like Erosa is a veteran. He's proven to be there. The only problem with him is that he's chinny. I feel like Rodriguez is really calm. He doesn't really push too much. He has takedowns. He's really hard to finish. But I feel like he struggles against people that have experience. I know he only has one loss, but I feel like he struggles with takedowns and people that have experience. And Jonathan Pierce kind of just like out experienced him and out fight IQ'd him. I feel like Erosa, he has the finishing potential. His problem is being chinny, but his wrestling is good. His submissions are good. His striking is good. He has power. I feel like it will be hard to finish Rodriguez, but I feel like he just doesn't have enough output. And Erosa has a lot of output. I feel like he can work in takedowns, have the output, use his reach, and win by decision. So my pick is going to be Erosa by decision. Next fight up, Gabriel Bonfim versus Ange Loosa. I think that this is probably my highest confident pick. I feel like Gabriel Bonfim is getting like swept under the rug a little bit by people. I mean, even though a lot of people are picking Bonfim, I feel like he's getting like, oh, you gotta avoid him because he got fraud checked by Dalby. But Dalby is tough. He pushes the pace. He has really good cardio. And obviously, this is in Denver, high elevation. Um, Gabriel Bonfim could gas, and that's a possibility, but I feel like it's not enough to completely not look at him or bet on him. I feel like Ange Loosa um, is worse than Dalby. Trevin Giles might be better than him. I wouldn't say Lazez is, but Trey Waters is pretty decent too. And the fact that he's able to just get takedowns and go for the submission and get it, and he's just pretty much doing what he wants on the ground. Um, I feel like he'll do the same. I feel like this is a similar fight to when Joe Pyfer was fighting Barral. I feel like he was getting swept under because he lost to Hermanson, but um, he ended up knocking out Barral. And I feel like Bonfim is going to submit Loosa. And Loosa hasn't been finished at all, and he survived people like Jack Della Malena. But I feel like Bonfim, he's too fierce. He comes at too much of a pace. He might be a little bit wary because he's scared of gassing, but I feel like once he's able to work in that takedown, he's just going to be able to do what he wants and get the submission. So my pick is going to be Gabriel Bonfim by first round submission. Next up, Drew Dober versus Jean Silva. Jean Silva just fought 2 weeks ago. I think he's biting off a little bit more than he can chew. The Fighting Nerds are going to take their first loss. I think that Drew Dober, he's got more power. He's got more experience. He's been waiting for this fight. He's been training. Obviously, John Silva is just coming off a camp, but I feel like this is high elevation. Drew Dober, hometown guy. I think that Drew Dober has more power, would just be able to land the harder punches and end up knocking him out. Because I feel like he's just too small. He doesn't have enough output. He's really exciting and he has pretty good potential, but I feel like moving up short notice won't be the best for him. So my pick is going to be Drew Dober by KO in the first round. Heading into the co-main event, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Muslim Salikhov. It's a really tough one. I feel like the odds are too high. I feel like this should be closer to like a maybe minus 150 Ponzinibbio. I think that Ponzinibbio, he is the younger fighter, but he has a lot of wear and tear. He's been fighting for a really long time. He's fought in the better competition. Muslim Salikhov, I feel like he has really good timing. He has really good striking. He has knockout ability. But he is 40 years old. I feel like that's like the thing that's pushing me off of him because he's 40. He's been knocked out this year. He got knocked out 2 times in the past 4 fights. I think that Ponzinibbio will make it a dogfight. Salikhov will land his blows, but I feel like Ponzinibbio, he's fought in the better people. He's more experienced in that sense. And I feel like he'll just land the better shots throughout the fight. I feel like this fight will go decision. I feel like that the fact that both of them have wear and tear, I think that the fight will go ends in finish, but not high confidence on either ending in finish and on Ponzinibbio, but my pick is going to be Ponzinibbio by second round KO. The main event, Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. You know, initially I was on Cortez. I thought she'll be able to work in the takedowns and kind of just hold Rose down. But then when I started to think about it more and more and looking at the film, I feel like Rose, she's a championship level fighter. Obviously, she is a bit hit or miss, but I feel like she's fought in everybody that you can in women's MMA. I feel like she's seen everything. She has takedowns of her own. She has a jiu-jitsu game. Her striking is way better than Cortez's, and I think that she'll just be able to stay on the outside, avoid takedowns, piece her up. I think this fight will go to decision. And I feel like Rose will just be able to possibly even work in her own takedowns and just do whatever. I feel like it would be hard pressed for Cortez to win because she just has no finish ability. She's finished pretty much like nobody in her career. They're all decisions, so the finishing upside is for Rose. The output upside, Rose. Striking output, Rose. I feel like everything is on Rose, and I feel like she's going to win by decision. So my pick is going to be Rose Namajunas by decision. My most confident picks are going to be Elder, Bonfim, and Rose Namajunas. My most confident props are going to be Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Kline goes decision or over 2.5. Dober Silva ending under 2.5, and Cody Brundage versus Alhassan under 2.5. That's going to be my quick picks breakdown. Thanks for watching.